Is there such thing as toxic femininity? Of course. The best example would be, you're not a real mother if you had a cesarean, don't breastfeed. Absolutely destructive. I'd argue that yes, but not in the sense of things women do that I don't like, but rather ways in which standards of femininity and female-coded behaviors begin to do more harm than good. Judgmental discourse around sleep training, breastfeeding, natural birth would be an example. Self-mutilation for the sake of hyper-feminine beauty could be another. Both slut and prude shaming, or other appearance-based bullying in the basis of putting other women down for being less of a proper woman could arguably constitute this as well. I think being passive to a harmful extreme and expecting a man to live her life for her maybe? The most cringy thing I've heard a woman say about other women is real women have curves. It's a toxic attitude intended to fight the oppression of skinny women over bigger girls using the same tools bigger girls hate being held over their heads. I feel like toxic masculinity kind of revolves around trying to affirm one's own sense of masculinity in a toxic way. I believe toxic femininity would be about the same. An example would be playing to the fact that a woman should always be provided for, that her man should live to please her and she owes nothing to him. The implication that the man is always wrong and the woman is always right also seems like a form of toxic femininity. I'm not saying gender roles are horrible if it makes you happy to live by them. However, should you believe that being of a certain gender puts you above the other, then I believe that to be toxic. Toxic femininity is exactly how toxic masculinity is. It's when people support values viewed socially as feminine as being inherently better and support them and bash others who don't follow them. Others have provided examples, but other ones include insulting women who don't wear heels, makeup, skirts, and saying they don't look nice, don't care about their appearance, or specifically that they look like men, boys. Another would be around the topic of shaving, saying you're less of a woman if you don't shave. Not saying someone can't say preferences for themselves, but no one is less of a woman for not doing any of the above things. Female dating strategy would certainly be an example. Totally a real thing. At the end of the day, a toxic person is a toxic person, and those women are just as capable as weaponizing gender stereotypes as their male counterparts. The breastfeeding thing. If you don't produce enough milk for your baby or having breastfeeding issues, are you even a real mom? To me, toxic masculinity is consciously leaning into one's stereotypically masculine traits to the point that your behavior becomes detrimental. There are women who do this for their feminine traits, so I'd say it absolutely exists. Anything can be toxic. Alphas don't exist in the human social hierarchy. Its simple definition is when the supposed qualities and attributes of a female is harmfully pushed on a person, such as bullying a woman for wearing pants and not dresses, insulting women for not wearing makeup, weight and eating commentary often leading to eating disorders in women. The list goes in. Yes, women who put down others' mothers for not having a real delivery or not breastfeeding, who lie and accused other falsely and try to get away using their gender. Those who say being a feminist is giving birth to more girls, and some tweeted about getting an abortion if their kid is a boy. So disgusting. Yes, the other day a woman was looking at me. I turned and looked back at her and smiled. She smiled back. Then I heard her call me creepy to a coworker. Just yesterday I confronted her, simply said that I heard what she said and I don't appreciate it. I am a regular there. She said, "Who told you?" I said I don't want to talk about it. Just that I don't appreciate it. Before leaving she walked up to me. smirked, and said I made her feel uncomfortable and to never come back. That was not cool. Yeah, women putting other women down for doing this differently in motherhood, in the household, relationship, workplace, career choice, just about every lifestyle choice. You're not breastfeeding your kids? You split taking care of your child equally with your husband? So you don't love you kids at all, So much stuff. Women who cheat, lie, falsely accuse, spread rumors, use their gender advantage to score privilege points, fishing for attention, avoid accountability, using your hormones and B period as an excuse for bad behavior, etc. Absolutely. Gender roles are innately toxic. Beauty standards, harmful footwear, expectations of submissiveness, expectations to have children, expectations to work as well as raise children and take care of domestic work, romanticization of abuse, gaslighting ourselves and other women about what's acceptable to put up with, what's normal, what's healthy. It goes on. I would imagine toxic femininity would be the same exact thing as toxic masculinity, just directed towards women or feminine traits, qualities. Sure, between femcells, TERFs, and self-righteous trads, there are plenty of bastions of toxic femininity. First one I learned about was manipulation. Heard a few girls in high school giggling about how they would get out of class by making male teachers feel uncomfortable and using periods as an excuse. Then a girl I knew said she would call her dad when he was at work and ask how he was just so she could figure out how much time she had to herself at home. As I got older, I picked up on more tricks. Now usually if some women I know do me a favor, I wait for the other shoe to drop, and it usually does. Everything is transactional with some women, and those are the ones you keep out of your inner circle. I think that either camp insisting you must be a mother to be a real woman, and a queen don't need no man, and real women are professional workers who can support themselves. Basically any idea that there's a real woman sets bad standards. You should be who you are. By same turn, you have to be nice to be sweet, or you have to be a boss bitch. Creates a false dichotomy. The masculinization of femininity is another example, where fish are trying to climb trees and monkeys are trying to live in the seas. Pushing women to be more masculine in one way enforces the gender roles you're trying to topple. Learned helplessness. How many women refuse to learn how to change a tire? Or call their boyfriend to kill a spider? Toxic masculinity is actually a misnomer for patriarchal masculinity. What you're asking about is similarly called patriarchal femininity. Replacing the pejorative description with its proper name clears up any confusion about the differences. They both have the same root issue. A patriarchal person believes you must fulfill specific requirements to be considered by others a man, woman. Men have one set of recs, women the other. If you are a patriarchal man, you sacrifice anything and everything to appear manly to others. And you'll expect women to be womanly. And it's the exact same for a patriarchal woman. Both believe failing to fulfill the recs are personal weakness and something to be ashamed of. And part of signaling strength is shaming others for failing. It's a toxic mindset that restricts a personality to a narrow road of rules and affects everyone in your life by changing how you interact, perceive them. That's why it can be described less accurately as toxic.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.